Hey guys, so here's our new video on orders of operation. You'll notice on the left that I put out PEMDAS, but I wrote it a little differently than you're used to seeing it. I'll explain why in a minute. So we all know that the P stands for parentheses, but that generally means we do what's inside the parentheses first. Okay, so if you ever see something inside parentheses, then you go inside the parentheses and that's where you start working. Okay. The next step would be exponents. We'll work more with exponents later in the year. We'll just kind of introduce them in this lesson though. So exponents are what comes second. Now you see the M and the D together, and that stands for multiplication and division. I just want to point out that multiplication and division happen in the order they appear from left to right. You don't do multiplication first all the time. That's a very common mistake. People very often try to do multiplication then division, and that's wrong. You're supposed to do it in the order that it appears from left to right. Okay, and I put some of the more common symbols we'll use for multiplication. You know, the multiplication times symbol. We'll use multiplication with parentheses, and then we'll use dot notation as well. Okay, and then I put some of the more common division things you'll see. Here's the division obelus, which we won't use very often. Here is division as a fraction, which is how we'll be seeing division mostly. And here's division as you learned in the 4th grade when you were doing long division. Okay? Underneath that, we have addition and subtraction. That's pretty straightforward, well said. We've done that a bunch already. Addition and subtraction, again, it's not that addition always goes first. They happen from left to right. So you can see I put the notes on the bottom here for you. Multiplication and division happen from left to right, and addition and subtraction happen from left to right. And we'll see examples of that in just a moment. All right, so if we take a look at number 1, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to identify that we do have parentheses, so we're going to look inside the parentheses first. So we'll look at, we have 3 times 9 plus 5. Well, multiplication happens before addition. So this will be 10, let me write that over. I had the wrong color accidentally. 10 times 27, because 3 times 9 is 27, plus 5 minus 4. Okay? Now we do, again, what's inside the parentheses, and what's inside the parentheses is 27 plus 5, which is 32, minus 4. Now we have to do multiplication, because that's what's next. Multiplication happens before subtraction. So 10 times 32 is 320 minus 4. Now we just do 320 minus 4 and we get our answer of 316. Okay? You're going to see me use a different color pen every time I change something in the next line of the equation. I'm going step by step here just so you guys can see it. Okay? So we look to number 2. We have the quantity 11 minus 2 plus 3 divided by negative 4. And there should be parentheses around that negative 4. Okay? So we look inside the parentheses and we see that we have subtraction and addition inside the parentheses. So we have to do it in the order that it appears. So the first thing we'll do is 11 minus 2. And 11 minus 2 is 9. And we're left with the plus 3 divided by negative 4. Okay? Now we'll do the 9 plus 3. Well, 9 plus 3 is 12 divided by negative 4. And then finally, 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. Okay, so let's look at number 3. And we can see that number 3 has 2 sets of parentheses. So we have to do what's inside each set of parentheses first. So we'll do 15 minus 4 first, and 15 minus 4 is 9. Okay. Now that we've done inside those parentheses, we actually do what's inside the second set of parentheses as well, save a little time. 9 plus 3 is 12, and this is all minus 4. Now we have 9 times 12 minus 4, and we do the multiplication first. 9 times 12, 108. So we're left with 108 minus 4. 108 minus 4 is 104. Okay? All right, so number 4 is 6 divided by 3 times 2 minus 4 plus 1. Okay, we have to be very careful here because order of operations says we'll do multiplication and division before addition and subtraction, but notice that we're going to do the division first, okay, because division comes before subtraction in this particular problem. That's why we do it first. So we'll do 6 divided by 3, which is 2, and we're left with times 2 minus 4 plus 1. Okay, well now we'll do the multiplication. 2 times 2 is 4, and we'll carry down the minus 4 and the plus 1. Okay, so now we will do addition and subtraction in the order that they appear because we're working from left to right. So 4 minus 4 is 0 plus 1, and that leaves us with 0 plus 1, which is 1. Okay, so now let's take a look at number 5. Here are two examples actually with exponents in them. So first we'll work with what's inside the parentheses. So we have 11 minus 3, which is 8. And then we can do what's inside the second parentheses 2 as well. So 8 plus 2 is 10. And we'll carry down our plus 3 squared. Now we need to do the exponents because exponents come before multiplication. So we'll carry down the 8 and the 10, and 3 squared is 9. So now we will do the 8 times 10 because multiplication comes before addition. 8 times 10 is 80 plus 9. That leaves us with an answer of 89. Okay, looking on over to number 6. We will do what's inside the parentheses first, and what's inside the parentheses, the first one is 3 minus 1, which is 2. Okay, and we won't forget to put the squared. And what's inside the second parentheses is 4 plus 2, which is 6. So now we're left with 2 squared plus 6 squared. Okay, we'll do the exponents next. 2 squared is 4. Plus 6 squared, which is 36, which means the solution to this equation is 40. Right, you should be getting a pop-up box now to solve these two problems. Okay, let's work them out together now. So number 1, we're going to work inside the parentheses first. We'll do 4 plus 3, which is 7, and we'll carry down everything else we had there. Okay, now we will do the order of operations. It says division and multiplication. Well, division and multiplication happen from left to right, so we need to do the division first. 7 divided by 7 is 1, and we'll carry down the times 2. 1 times 2 is 2, and there we have it. Now we're looking at number 2. We have the quantity 6 squared divided by 12 plus 4. We'll work inside the parentheses. We'll do 6 squared first. 6 squared is 36 divided by 12 plus 4. Okay, now we'll do 36 divided by 12. 36 divided by 12 is 3. And we're left with plus 4. 3 plus 4 is simply 7. Okay, you should be getting a pop-up box now for these two problems. Okay, and if you've had a chance to answer them, here is the solution. We'll look at number 3 first. So we have the quantity 8 minus 9 times 3 plus 2. So we'll work inside the parentheses to do 8 minus 9. And if you still need to do leave, change, you most certainly can. I'll do it here on the bottom just in case you need a refresher. We leave the 8, we change the minus to a plus, and we change the positive 9 to a negative 9. So now we have 8 plus negative 9. We'll do 8 plus negative 9 equals negative 1. Okay, so 8 minus 9 equals negative 1 times 3 plus 2. Now we have to do the multiplication. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3 plus 2. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. Okay, looking on to number 4, we have the quantity 4 minus 2 squared plus the quantity 5 plus 3 squared. So we have to do what's inside the parentheses first. 4 minus 2 is 2. 5 plus 3 is 8. Squared. Okay, so now we'll do 2 squared, which is 4, plus 8 squared, which is 64, which means the solution to this problem is 68. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Have a good night.